Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Indianapolis Colts. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Indianapolis Colts. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. They come in after tasting defeat for the first time in about a month as their loss snapped a 4-game winning streak. Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they come in playing reasonably well. Losers the last time out, but winners of 4 of 5 before that. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the MVP of the National Football League in 2018, the former Texas Tech Red Raider, Patrick Mahomes.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game as he'll lose yardage to start things out. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
43!
Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dexter Lawrence in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Off the draw. Here's Johnson. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down. Certainly not the start they were looking for offensively coming off that loss last week on the road.
And they didn't do their job. They're going to feel poorly about that. But what they're going to do is look at the defense and say, can you pick us up here? And let's face it, defenses can score. We've seen it, right? They can take the ball away, create a big-time opportunity. Let's see if they can get that done.
Yeah, just something to jumpstart this home crowd. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Flip. Back. Shift.
They run it with a rookie from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. And now a look at the offense for Jacksonville.
One thing for us to keep in mind and remember, they're coming off of their open week last week. They got to sit home and relax a little bit before the final stretch of the season. They got the lucky draw because every team in the league wants to have that open week later in the year rather than early. They benefited.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They've been pretty solid against the pass, toward the middle of the pack, number 14 in the NFL.
So I'm prepping for this game. I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And
too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. You're not ready. You're not ready.
Winston now from the 50. And he's got Fitzgerald. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on third down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage. It appears he'll be a few inches short, so 9 yards on the gain officially, and it'll be third down. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
It's complete. It's Fitzgerald. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Switch it. Hey, 5 on 50. Let's go.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working out of the gun, Winston. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. DJ Chark, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. The touchdown giving him the first quarter lead. Remember, they lost a rough game 2 weeks ago. Then they had to sit through the open week, but a good start here.
And just think about everyone around them, everyone around the organization. When you lose headed into that open week, everyone's cringing because you don't have a chance to get on the horse and ride it again for at least 2 weeks. Well, they were able to take that time, use it constructively, and now they're back in form.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Here's Mahomes to throw. Oh, he nearly picked it. Maybe daylight in front of him if he could have held on. Instead, second down. And here are the Colts offensive starters.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they've got the second straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3.
Johnson. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. And it's complete to Kelsey. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. First catch on that one for Kelsey, and it's a first down. Mahomes now on first down. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Second quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. On play action, it's Mahomes. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. He got 29 yards that time. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Automatic first down.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Bilal Nichols just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Mahomes going to throw. A loss of 8 on the play, and it brings up 4th. Out there now, the lefty Tavecchio for the Falcon field goal. From the left hash, this from 37. The kick by Tavecchio is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Ready? Blue wave. 58.
The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
You must be getting tired of seeing me. Green, come see. Here we go.
Shotgun snap and a give to Lindsey. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. The throw over the middle, taken in. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Throwing, Winston. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. First connection there of the afternoon for those 2, and it's good for a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Switch. Check it back.
Gets it to Hardman. A jet sweep. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Hey, 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. They'll get just a couple, but the sticks move again.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. To throw, Winston. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Phillip Lindsay, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And the Colts coming out now. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the 2nd. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Caught by Sanu. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. Looking for Kelsey there, but it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. He was looking for his tight end, Kelsey.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It's a gain of 20 as we wind down near 20 seconds left in the quarter.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Ready? Black 22.
We have hit halftime. Still 2. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The linebacker Darius Leonard applied the heat.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. A run with Lindsey out of the gun. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for third down. Well executed there on second down, so do you go back to the air on third?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a second time.
On third down, here comes Jacobs, and he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On first down, they go with Jacobs again. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 2nd and 7, Winston steps away to his left. He's going to take off with it. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 45-yard line. He is tough to bring down, Jameis Winston. Yeah, Charles, I remember calling a baseball game of his. He played baseball at Florida State, too, and you saw his legs, tree trunks sprayed in to those baseball pants. I said, how could anybody bring this guy down?
And that's part of the beauty of his game because he has that toughness, that thick body. He may not beat you sprinting, but he's real sharp with his mind, and he knows how to get away from people.
16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Winston. He's got this one complete to Perriman. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 16.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From the red zone now, Winston. And that ball is caught by DJ Chark for the Jags touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
Love his pocket awareness, able to slip out of the sack. But once you take your eyes off the receivers, once your eyes come down and you see the rush, hard to get back downfield and find an open target. Fortunate, that one just wound up as an incomplete pass.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And a little spin cycle, room to run now. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And he winds up getting this all the way down to the Jags 20.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Throwing now is Mahomes. Johnson's got it complete. No gain, and it's second down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch. And most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. And this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field. Wait. Flare. Flip. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Let's go.
Jameis to throw it. Dancing to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Miles Jack with a sack.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Jones on the return. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Yellow. Go on, 80. And we got to get to the ball, team. My turn.
Throwing on second down, Mahomes. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Hey, come on, no, come on, no.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now in Indianapolis. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the 4th quarter. Now here's Mahomes, and that is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Johnson on the counter. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down, forthcoming.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Here we go with Michelle. And he's able to pick up the 1st down before he's tackled right at the 10. So give him the 1st down. 1st and goal after a pickup of 4, and the decision to go for it pays off. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Now Mahomes. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Duke Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Tavecchio good on the extra point. And it makes the score 21-10. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Being chased out left. And that will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And the drive starts with a completion left side. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down. Decent start to the drive there. Of course, they need the touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal.
Yeah, those guys are into it. How about the guys on the sideline? Do you see the coaches signaling? All the personnel groups up on the sideline ready to go in and out of the game. They've got to condense their time now in order to try and get back into it.
Another good reception there. The Colts on the march. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now Mahomes' throw complete to his tight end, Kelsey. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Screen play, Johnson. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. The Colts on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Ready? Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right.
They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. On first down, right back to Lindsey. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1.
Hey, 5-0, 5-0, 5-0.
They'll run here with Lindsey. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a carry for Lindsey. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a carry for Jacobs. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
And indeed, they will keep it on the ground. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Lindsey. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them. Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And I know I'm not breaking any news when I say that any road win in this league is a good one.
No doubt.
But it's a double bonus when you get a victory on the road in your division.
And when you start a season, each team breaks down their schedule in different ways. Some do it every 4 games, right? Let's go quarterly. Others say, listen, we've got to take care of our home field. And, you know, out of a 16-game season, if you get 8 at home, let's at least win 7 at home and split our road games. That's what you're trying to get done. So you're exactly right. A road win, precious, especially within the division.
So for Jacksonville, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, It's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Go.